The vintage Clav emulates the classic Honer D6 Clarinet, and this used to be called the EV-D6 in honor of the Honer D6 in earlier versions of Logic, but it's been branded vintage Clav with the vintage selection of keyboards that include the organ and the electric piano. Now, as we saw with the electric piano, we have a variety of models that we can choose from, and this is just the default preset, and on their own, some of them are more different than others, but in combination with the other controls in the interface, we get a wide palette of sounds from this. So this is the main page we're looking at. We have an effects section over here, and we have details page over here. And as you'll notice, this bottom part remains consistent throughout, and then we have a couple of extended parameters. So I'm just going to play you a little part and go through some of these models. A lot more sustain. It's good for funkier, lower bass parts. So without the changing of the other parameters, it's just a kind of starting point in terms of the model. Now, we have a brilliance knob, which sets the level of the harmonic content that is generated when the string is excited, because a clarinet is basically a stringed instrument, even though it's played like a keyboard. It's about exciting a string. So we have that. We can excite it, and then we have a decay knob to set the decay time of the strings following the attack. And it works in conjunction with the damper over here. So we get a kind of muted short sound, and with brilliance we excite it and get more upper harmonics. So just with those couple of knobs we can really vary the sound nicely. Now we have all these filter switches which emulate the original tone control switches on the D6. So they're rocker switches. Brilliant makes the sound kind of nasal. There's a strong bass cut. Treble makes it sound sharper when it's in like that. Also with a gentle bass cut. So this thins out the sound. And you can use any combination of these, as you can see. And soft makes it sound softer, more muted. And then we have the pickup switches. Now the idea is that we have a pickup here, and when we're in these A, B, or CD switch modes, it alters the wiring of the virtual pickups on the instrument, and it changes the tone a lot. So when we engage either of these, you'll see that there's two pickups over here. One that's below the strings, this one, and one that's above the strings. And we can change the position of it. And I'll just show you the difference in sound. So all of a sudden it's very different. We can drag these around from the middle. And you can automate the movement to get that phasing sound. But you can also change the angle by grabbing either end. So really a lot of fun playing with it, and really a lot of sound variation. Then we can engage this one. And even when they're moved like that, we can grab in the middle. And again, they all work in conjunction with these. Now we have a stereo spread control, which is interesting. We can modulate the panning based on key position or on the pickup positions. And I'm just going to jump to a second example here, which has a bit of a wider range. And as I move this, we drag the key parameter. We're going to set the key-based modulation for the panning. So in other words, the note position determines the panning. And this is the stereo instance of this instrument, of course. And here we can affect the panning based on the position of the pickups. So you get a real wide variety of stereo imaging with these two. If you option click, it'll center it up there. I can pan just the pickups. So very full-featured kind of spatial control here. Now the damper control affects the damper that dampens the strings, and you can hear the effect of that. And this could be remote controlled on the details page under miscellaneous. By default, the mod wheel is assigned, but we can learn a MIDI controller or assign any of these. So with that, move my mod wheel. So I can do something like that to have the dampers move depending on the part that's being played. So just with these main controls, we get a really nice variety of sound. And with these parameters changed, now let's try some of these different models. I really like this one for funky, short sounds. And I have this going through a spring reverb from Space Designer. So a lot of fun playing with these main controls. I'm going to end off here, and in the next video, we're going to start exploring the effects, which really add a lot of character and personality to this instrument.